Hi, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Frank Billingsley, and we're watching now a tornado warning. This was just issued for Waller County until 6 p.m. I'll zip in on this, but you can see all of these showers have been across the area. So we'll go in a little tighter to where we're talking about right here. And what's remarkable is these storms are moving at 60 miles per hour. So even if there's not a tornado, the winds associated with this line can cause some big problems. That is for sure. So there's a look at the official tornado warning. And this, what we call a storm tracker here, this orange arrow, that will always give us some good information. So this is headed right toward Waller at 5:57, Hockley at 6:05, Hagar at 6:10. You can see the shear with this is 80 miles per hour, 100% chance of hail, 60% chance of severe hail on the order of 1.5 inches. That's about a golf ball size hail, and that will continue to move off to the east, to the east, maybe east-southeast. And the whole storm is moving at 60 miles an hour. So this is a very fast-moving system. Clearly, I'll put this in motion over the last hour, and you can see how fast it's moved. This is in 1 hour. This storm system moved from around Giddings right to where it is now in just an hour. So clearly, this is really starting to move very quickly toward the Houston area. This is what we're going to have to watch out for. These circular motions here indicate at least some shear in the atmosphere. Not guaranteed that there is a tornado. In fact, nothing has been seen on the ground, but what we are seeing is at least the potential for something here as this moves now right into Waller County. So this is almost to Harris County. This thing is really trucking along so quickly that it's certainly going to cause some wind damage, if not produce a tornado, but the potential is there. I'll put it, just stop it here, and you can see this is where now into Harris County that tornado watch goes. So we're anywhere from the central part, right, really just a few miles south of Prairie View, right there in the central part of Waller County into the western part of Harris County as far as the threat on this. So this is what's moving in. Elsewhere, there are a number of flood watches, aerial advisories, and flood warnings, these green and these red boxes for very heavy rain on the order of 3 to 5 inches of rain that you've seen already. The other issue has been this severe thunderstorm warning that we have seen right here in parts of, looks like northern Liberty County, headed toward the Livingston area. This is until 6:15, so that's from Liberty County off to the northeast. That clearly, and I'll put a motion on this for you, is moving off pretty quickly as well, and not quite as fast as what we have seen with this other system. But let's look at that storm tracker right there, and that will give us an idea of places that are in the threat zone. Oakshade at 6, Wildwood at 6:11. Village Mills at 6:14 and Hyatt, and now that's just been updated. Oakshade at 6:02, Wildwood at 6:13, Village Mills at 6:17. So this whole area is going to continue to move off to the northeast. So we can take a look at this on just a wider scale and take some of this off, because I know it gets so confusing when we see all of those boxes out there. So I'll just take them off for a second. You can see there's the whole line of showers and thunderstorms. Add back some lightning, give you an idea. 942 strikes is what we are seeing everywhere on your screen, but that does go off into Louisiana. So if we tighten this up a little bit, that number should go down a little bit. You can see down to 883, but still we're talking about a lot of lightning in this whole area as this continues to move through. Now, if I put this in motion, you'll get a little better sense of how this continues to move slowly off to the east-northeast for this area, but very quickly to the east for the area down to the south. Let me show you this again. If you look, and I can just draw some of this for you. If you look at where this started, which is right back here around the Giddings area, and now the back end of this is right there. I mean, that's a very fast motion. You could drive it that fast if you could find a straight road to do it, but that's a very quick motion there. And so, given that, I think you're going to see this move right across Harris County. I mean, it's about 50 miles across Harris County. It's going to move right across now between 6 and 7 o'clock, it looks like, as that continues to move on through. So I think we have to really watch out. I don't know that we're going to have an actual tornado that's going to end up affecting us, but we're going to have the wind. We're definitely going to have the wind, because you can't move a line of storms at 60 miles an hour without a lot of wind. So this is the time, if you're in Harris County watching us, this is the time to really buckle up anything that could be blown around. Pool umbrellas, big wheels around the house, garbage cans, anything that could be blown about. And please be careful, because a lot of branches have been falling with these storms. And I mean big oak branches that people haven't taken care of from the drought last summer. When we were so dry and hot, a lot of trees, their branches got very weak. And now you get a wind like this, and that's going to cause problems. So watch out there. Do you have an updated information? I'm talking to Daja here.
Yeah, if you turn back on the warnings there, just to show them that a severe thunderstorm warning has been extended into portions of Harris County.
Okay.
And even just that northwestern corner of Harris County now includes that tornado warning. So mainly west and northwest of Katy at this point, that tornado warning still until 6 p.m. and then that severe thunderstorm warning once again now including Harris County.
So we have the tornado warning about another 7 minutes, and that's been converted to a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. And again, there's so much going on here, but you can see that this area, let me just draw this out, it's this area right there. It's going to continue to move right into the Houston area. So right across, Katy, you're starting, I bet Katie's probably hearing this, especially if you put some lightning back on there. You're starting to see those dark clouds come in, and it's not going to be long before you start seeing that rain move across. So Harris County, Katy, right up toward Cypress, and continuing on toward Magnolia and Stagecoach, you're going to start seeing all of that move across in the next 15 minutes. So that severe thunderstorm warning expires at 6:15. Now, I got to tell you, usually when a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, it's for about 45 minutes. It's not for 20. You know, I mean, it's just, unless a line of storms is moving at 60 miles an hour, because then clearly it's going to be here and it's going to be gone, and your next warning will continue to push across and push across and push across. And so between now, 6 o'clock, and 8 o'clock, I think this will probably be right over here in Chambers County. I mean, it's only going to take maybe 2 hours to get all the way across, but it's the wind damage that I would be concerned with more than anything. The one advantage of such a fast-moving line of storms is it can't drop that much rain in any one spot. So while they've had to deal with 4 and 5 inches of rain up here to the north, because these showers have moved relatively slowly and they've continued to build all day, the storms that we're watching moving so quickly are not going to have time to drop a whole lot of rain. So we may see an inch of rain out of this, but I think we will see the wind that will go with all of that. So let me clean this up just a little bit. I'll even take the lightning off here, and you can see this is the tornado warning. Let's just go in a little bit here. This is the tornado warning that we're watching. That is right there north of Pattison, continues right into parts of Harris County, but we have not had any eyewitness of any tornadoes, and we haven't had any reports. Daji, I'm right. We haven't had any reports of tornadoes.
No tornadic activity. So right now,
no tornadic activity has been reported on this. Although, I mean, when you look at that, it's pretty impressive for sure. When you just look at the reds and the blues, we look at the velocity on this, where we try to see the reds and the greens, and that's what we're seeing. That's why this was issued. See that bright green and that red? Red is wind that's going away from the radar, and this green, that's coming toward the radar. So when you have wind that's going away and wind that's coming toward, then clearly you're going to get some kind of a circulation. So you have wind going one way and wind going the other way. And that's exactly why that shear marker is right there, because that's where we could potentially have a tornado. This is more about the upper atmosphere. There's probably some spinning going on there. It's once it goes out of that cloud and reaches the ground that it becomes a concern for those of us who live at the ground, right? But that's not happening with this so far. But the warning, we'll see it's about, another 4 minutes. So we'll see if this actually expires, the tornado warning. That's the tornado warning expected to expire at 6 p.m. And as I mentioned, it's been converted to a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. So you folks there, I'll put it back on what we call reflectivity, which is to say the radar. So there we go. So we have that back on the radar. Look at the purple there. That's always an indication of very strong storms and potentially some hail. So when you look at the hail potential there, that is certainly 1 inch. The 70-mile-an-hour winds. These are just the threats that I'm looking at. Wow. So moving east-northeast at 49. Watch out in Fetzer, Todd Mission, Todd, Magnolia. This is one of the skits that I touched on. Let's clear some of this out of here and take it back to the radar and clear all of that out of there so that we can see what we're talking about here. All right, so this is still what we're watching. There's the tornado warning, 5:57. We'll continue to watch this as it goes right to 6 o'clock. And then we'll be on the air live at 6 on KPRC 2, so you can watch us there. And we'll continue to go with this as long as we need to. But this is now a tornado warning until 6, but a severe thunderstorm warning. Well, wait a minute. This tornado warning's been extended. We now have a tornado warning until 6:30 for Harris County. So this has been extended. Let me get rid of that, and let me get rid of that. There we go. So if you just follow the lines and never smart.
The tornado warning got extended.
Yeah, you can go outside the lines pretty easily. You folks in Katy could be vulnerable. Down to the south of there, this is from Cypress to Jersey Village, but this is a tornado warning now until 6:30. Hey, is Daji in there?
I'm back here.
Okay. I'll try to effort on this to see if we've had anything that has been spotted. Because certainly, as you saw with that red and green right next to each other, it's certainly a possibility that we will see something on the ground. But so far, these are more about radar-indicated systems than we have worried about as far as anything actually being seen on the ground. So that's what we're watching now. These skits, these storm trackers, they give us an indication of which way everything is going. All right, I think we're about to go on the air in 1 minute. So I'm going to put that in motion, put a jacket on, and I'll be ready to go. Is there anything on the ground with that?
No, nothing on the ground.
Okay, because they issued it until 6:30.
KPRC 2 News begins right now with a severe weather alert.
Right now at 6, a severe weather alert. This is a live look at the Storm Tracker 2 radar. The KPRC 2 Storm Tracker team monitoring a tornado threat as powerful storms continue to move across our area.
Yeah, we have you covered with real-time conditions on the road, keeping you weather aware, which is very important for today. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Daniela Guzman.
And I'm Andy Sirota. Keith has the night off. Let's get right over to Frank.
Yeah, tornado warning's been issued until 6:30 for western Harris County.
Okay.
This line of storms that you're going to see has been moving at some 60 miles an hour. So even if there's not a tornado with this, there's strong wind with it. So be careful. This is what we're watching. Whenever we see that green and that red, this indicates that winds that are moving away from the radar in the red, and then continues to show these green, which is moving toward the radar. So when you have any kind of wind going away and wind going toward, then you're obviously got some kind of a spin going. So that's why that has been issued. And this is a fairly remarkable difference, because this is not just green on red. This is a bright green against the red. And that indicates a really strong spin. So this may well end up being a tornado. If it gets to the ground, we'll see. But I can guarantee you that up in that sky, there is some shear going on in a circular motion, because you just, if nothing else, you could get a straight line wind out of this. This is very common, in fact, from what I've seen, to see a straight line wind, and those can be 100 miles an hour hitting the ground. So this is going to be a wind system, tornado or straight line, I don't know, but you need to really watch out, especially if you're in the Cypress area. I want to get really close in on this, because this is really where I think we're going to have to watch out for. So I'm going to just keep going in as close as I can here. And that makes sense to be able to see. You see, there's the Grand Parkway there, Tuckerton Road, North Bridgeland, the whole Bridgeland area in Cypress. You need to watch out there. And it's moving quickly. When you have a system like this that's going at 60 miles an hour, it was in Giddings an hour and a half ago. And now it's in the Houston area as this continues to move on through. So let me back this out a little bit for you. In fact, probably the easiest way would just be go to the metro area here so that you can see. And I'll also put this on put this on the radar or the radar reflectivity, or what we call radar, so that you can see this and take a look at that. So let me take some of this off. I know there are a lot of boxes here. This is the threat area. So here's Houston. Get a sense of that. There's not only the tornado warning that's in effect. That's going until 6:30. But in addition to that, just to the north and south is also this severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. So you may not get the tornado, but this whole line is a dangerous line, and it's a system that's moving pretty quickly. I want to put a motion of 1 hour on this. We're going to go to a live pick at 290. I think, so I want to show you that right now because you can see, look at this line. Look, this is 1 hour of radar. Look how quickly this moves across the area. This is the only thing we're going to have to worry about. There you go. So if you are in 290 area, that's, like I said, the Bridgeland and Cypress area. Not only are you seeing, look at those live lightning shots, not only with the lightning, but with the dark clouds. You look off to the right there, there's the live lightning shots. Clearly, a lot of heavy rain coming with that. It looks like Gage Golding is in the storm tracker with us. I mean, you're just going into the jaws right now. That is for sure. As you continue to move in this direction, I can promise you they're going from east to west along 290, probably in the Cypress area and continuing. There's the sign that says Austin, so they're going toward the 290 area for sure. So that's what they're watching right there on 290. I mean, the skies have just gone to pitch black. The only thing lighting them up are lightning bolts. There's going to be heavy rain with this, but the good news to that part of it is when you have a storm line moving as quickly as this one is, and it's moving at 60 miles an hour, the problem is the wind. Obviously, lightning is dangerous, tornadoes, if they form and reach the ground. But the good news is that the rain, because it's moving so quickly, the rain is not going to be a big issue because it's just moving too fast to produce a lot of rain. Now, they've had that issue up to the north of us where they've had 4 and 5 inches from College Station to Livingston today, but they have not had that. We have not had that out to the west because this particular line that's moved out of Austin to Giddings, right across to Waller County, and is now moving into Harris County, that has not produced significantly heavy rain, maybe a half an inch to an inch of rain. So it's more about the lightning and the wind and the tornado threat with this. So there again, you can see how these boxes are advanced. This is just 1 hour. And in 1 hour, Brenham's clear. Brenham an hour ago had a tornado warning, and now they're fine. It's moved out of here, and it's now into Harris County. So what we're seeing now, I'm going to put this is what we call a storm tracker. So that gives you an idea right there. Hockley, 608, which we're almost to. Linwood Heights, 616. Rose Hill, Cypress Mill, 616, 617. Cypress Ridge, Hyde Park, 100% chance of hail. When a storm can produce hail like this, it's certainly capable of producing a tornado because you're getting that much updraft. The reason I always say that is to get this kind of hail, you have to take all of that moisture and put it way up in the sky where it freezes and comes back down as hail. Well, if you can do that, then you can get an updraft into that storm that will turn anything that's trying to spin, it will turn it, and it will become a tornado coming out of that cloud. So you need updraft, wind's going up, you need updraft in order to get a tornado to form, and you need updraft to produce that kind of hail. So we've got that hail that's been indicated, so certainly this could produce a tornado. We do have the tornado warning. It's in effect until 6:30 on either side of that, and that took me right back to that skid again. In addition to that, we have a severe thunderstorm warning to the south and to the north of that until 6:15. So when you look at this, and I'll go out a little more on this just to give you an idea of what else is going on, because I know it's not the only game in town. We have this severe thunderstorm warning, which has been right there around Cleveland and Liberty County. So that gives you an idea there that this system is moving toward Honeyland and Wildwood and Hyatt and Hickspaw between now and 6:30. Also capable of producing 100% chance of hail, 80% chance of 2-inch size hail. So that is going to continue to be a problem. Also, we can zip in here a little bit with this system. So now it wants to take me out. Let's go in here and I'll show you. This is, put it in motion. This is the last hour. And I'm going to take, there's so many boxes. I just want to take all these boxes off. But there's a severe thunderstorm warning, and then all these red and green boxes are flood watches and flood warnings. So we'll just take those off for a moment, and then I'll put this in motion for an hour. And you can see I left the red arrows on because those do a great job of showing us what direction these storms are moving, so you can get an idea that these are coming toward you. But notice in the last hour, and I'll take it even to the last 3 hours, you'll notice that this whole area just continues to be rained on hour after hour after hour. So just keep your eye right here. This is from 4 to 5 to now 6. This whole area, just more and more and more and more rain. And so we have seen some very heavy showers moving through with this, and it looks like we're going to continue to see more because this whole area that you see moving out of Conroe, that is headed your way. So until this line right here that we've been talking about, until this line right here, until that comes through, you're going to be dealing with rain up here. Now, this will push it all out of here, but it's going to take it another hour, hour and a half to do that. So until that gets through here, you are going to be dealing with rain in this particular area across Montgomery County, Liberty County, into Livingston. It looks like it's lightened up a little bit in northern Polk County. So the big problem is where you see this purple area here in northwest Harris County. That area out 290 in Harris County, that is treacherous looking. Gage Golding is in our Storm Tracker 2. Gage, welcome to Houston.
Yeah, this is out our front view right now. Our speed is about 10 miles an hour because that's how hard the wind is blowing. We're driving westbound right now on 290. Wow, look at that flash of lightning. A lot of people actually pulling over on the side of the road. This is real-time speed on the interstate that you're seeing right here. It is crawling because, let me see if I swing this camera around, you get a better look. Look at the blowing. You saw the difference in how the camera was kind of clean versus whenever I swing it around towards the front of the vehicle, it gets ugly pretty quick. People at an absolute crawl here. It looks like some sort of emergency vehicle possibly in the other lanes. But, yeah, it kind of turned on real quick, Frank. The whole time you were talking about how quickly these storms are moving. Yeah, no joke. They are really moving quick because we were fine up until about 5-10 seconds before you came to us here. And you can probably hear the vehicle being battered. And the camera just doesn't really do it justice. I don't know if you can see it coming down in sheets here off of our dash cam video here, but you definitely see the hazard lights on from the folks. But up on the interstate here, this is 290. Westbound is where the headlights are going. I can't even zoom in because, look, between the flashes of the lightning.
Gage, it looks like the rain. It looks like the rain. It looks like the rain is just wind driven like crazy at you.
Yes. Oh, here, look down at the ground here.
Holy cow.
We are moving less than 20 miles an hour. Yeah, you could see it coming down in sheets here.
Is that hail falling? Are you getting any hail out there? It looks like hail.
Yes, that is hail. You hear it against the vehicle right now?
Yes, I do. So you've got hail,
so
wind-driven rain. Yep, there you go.
Definitely a lot of wind-driven rain out here. Let me throw our front camera on again.
It looks like ping pong ball size hail.
Yes.
Be careful.
I mean, I've got. Hear it.
There's every indication that you could be in the midst, at least, of a tornado in that area. And those are the worst kind because they're what we call rain-wrapped tornadoes. In other words, because the wind is so strong and the rain is there, the wind is wrapping the tornado in rain and you can't see it.
Yeah, we're completely stationary right now for the most part. You could probably hear it. Just how intense this is. Let me swing this camera back around to our backside. Wow, you can see that is a terrible idea what this person's doing.
There's the thunder.
That is not a good idea.
What is that person doing?
Actually, I'm going to swing you can see some branches on the road here. That person actually just drove what looked like kind of into the median almost.
Oh, wow.
Frank, we're seeing some tree debris on the ground, some limbs possibly, to give you an idea. But this is our dash camera. You might be able to get a good view here. But the visibility is down to, what do you say, 25 feet maybe? No, oh, wait, here, Frank, do you see this right in front of us here? Big tree limb down. Let me see if I can swing this camera around.
Well, last summer we had such a drought. It was so hot and it was so dry. A lot of these trees, they didn't die completely, but part of them did. And these branches are very vulnerable to these kind of winds because nobody's going to trim their trees like they should. They just don't. We don't. We should, but we don't. But look at that.
We're not talking little limbs here. Look at that. That's a big limb that fell off here. You guys see that? Let me try to switch the camera around a little bit more.
And that's the kind of limb that
Look
if
at
it
that.
falls on you when you're driving, it may not hurt your car, but it will cause you to have a terrible wreck because it'll scare the heck out of you.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the dangerous thing. You saw that person kind of whiz by us there. No one is in a hurry at this point. This is kind of, you got to be safe because, man, it really came up on us. Look, there's some more right in front of us. I don't know if you can see it here. But the wind-driven rain it's been moving kind of in every direction. I don't know what that can help you with.
Well,
Frank,
because there's a circular
motion.
motion going on. That's why. Because there's a tornado warning in effect, and we may not see one on the ground, but in the upper atmosphere, it is rotating.
Oh, yeah, look here.
And so you've got this circular
Yeah,
motion spinning.
Yeah, and we can see it. I don't know if my camera can spin around that side. Let me see if I can get around our backside here. There's a lot of tree debris. You see that? From properties off on the, here. This might even be a road sign in front of us.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
A fence, possibly? Let me see if we can get this camera swung back around. We got this top-mounted camera that might be able to give you a better look. Man, this is prime conditions of if you don't have to go out, do not. Dig deep in the fridge tonight for something to eat because these are not the conditions that are worth
we have Gage. We have your shot up, and we also have the radar shot up. And I think people are probably wondering why there's that white color on the radar. That's an indication of hail. And so this storm is full of hail. So we not only have the wind, the wind-driven rain, and I mean the hail you're seeing looks to me to be almost golf ball size, at least an inch, if not almost an inch and a half or two.
I would say it's at one point it was golf balls, probably, or close. It sure sounded like it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be outside. That's for sure.
And now what's going on to the left of you?
Here.
What's going on to the left of you there?
To the left of us, this is 290 just backed up. This 290 westbound.
So you're on the feeder?
Just backed up entirely. I'm on the feeder right now, yes, sir.
Gage, I also need to break in on you just a little bit to show everyone that the tornado watch has now been extended for Harris County. We'll get back to you in just a moment, and we can even keep you up. But I need the camera to come to me here in the Storm Tracking Center. Thank you. Just to show you what's going on here. This is a tornado warning that's now been issued until 6:45. So then you can see the motion on this is more southeast, right into downtown Houston by 6:45. So we have this that's going on. I'll move this so you can see all that. We have this in the Cypress area where Gage is. He's right up 290 right now. That is continuing to move southeast very quickly. I mean, this whole line is moving at 50 to 60 miles an hour. This is going to continue to move through. And at 6:45, it will be in downtown Houston. So in the next 30 minutes. So this gives you time to get pool umbrellas down and garbage cans out of the way and anything that's outside your home, secure it, because these winds, as you're seeing from Gage's reporting, these winds are fierce. This is wind-driven rain like crazy. If you can pull your car in just because of the threat of hail, I would do that if you can, because you just can't be too careful. And if you can stay indoors, absolutely don't get out in this. Just give it a break, whatever your plans are, because this is going to, you're probably fine right now. You've been seeing the clouds all day. Not much has happened. And you're thinking, well, I got to go run to the store real quick. But this is going to be on us so fast. I can show you in 1 hour. It's not even in Harris County. And then boom, not only is it here, but it's here with tornado warning. So it's moving very, very quickly across the area. Now, I want to take the warning off just so you can see what we're looking at here, especially in the Cypress area. So look, so you see that area right there? That's the purple and the black. I'll tell you, that's not only a hail signature, that is a tornado signature very, very often, right up 290. I'm not guaranteeing that, but I can tell you, we're under a tornado warning. So let me just show you what we call the relative velocity. And you see that bright green and that red? When you have that right next to each other, and I could pull this out a little bit, but when you have that right next to each other, that's an indication of winds that's going away from the radar and wind that's going toward the radar. So when you have that and these bright green areas, that is a classic signature for straight line winds. And by that I mean wind that comes out of the clouds and hits the ground and goes straight out. It's like if you pointed your hose at the driveway, you know what happens to that water. That water hits that driveway and then it just expands outward very quickly. So that is a classic from Tomball to Cypress to Katy, especially now Jersey Village. I can in fact just look at this, and you've got 57-mile-an-hour shear. Shear is a fancy word for wind, but look at that coming in. 57, almost 60-mile-an-hour winds being reported with that. This is probably a little less so, but up toward Tomball, that just changed. I'm going to see if I can get that one back again. Right now it's 617, Tomball, Klein, 623, 632, 633 to Augusta Creek Gardens. So that's what we're looking at on that. So let me go back to the radar, take some of all of this off so that you can see what's going on. But the notch that I was seeing isn't as pronounced as it was, and we always look for a comma, a notch, because that indicates a circular motion that could be going on. There still is that right around Jersey Village, but I'm seeing back towards Cypress, away from that notch, is where I'm seeing the purple. So they're not lined up. If they were lined up, I'd be more concerned about an actual tornado, but I'd be just as concerned about the very strong straight line winds coming in on that. So let's take that off, and I'll give you a 1 hour motion. That always gives you, just looking at the radar, a lot of times will give you an idea of just where this stuff is going, so we can actually pull this out a little bit. And this whole area that's been moving across Montgomery County, that's going to leave you folks up there. I know that you're like, what about us? Liberty County into Polk County, San Jacinto County, I know that you folks there have been dealing with this rain all day, and you're already flooded. So I know you're wanting to know when this is going to get out of here, but it's going to take this part of the storm that you see in Montgomery County. That's got to come through, and then it's over. But it will be. And if you look at you look at 1 hour of radar, look at 3 hours of radar, and you'll see how fast this has been moving. So I'll put this in motion, and through the last 3 hours, this was in Round Rock. And in 3 hours, it's already into Montgomery County. That's a fast motion for a storm like this. So it's really been moving quickly. In the last hour, it's been moving quickly also. And this is where we're finding it right now. From the woodlands, these can be strong storms into Fulshire and down toward Wharton County. I don't think they're as severe. We don't have any, I'll put this back on, I don't have any severe thunderstorms in that particular area. Let me take the lightning back off. In that area, what I have is a severe thunderstorm warning. That's until 7 o'clock now. That's new. That just got issued. So let me see if I can tighten this up a little bit. Wrong way. Let's go back in here. So this is a severe, and this, okay, I've never seen this before. I've never seen the word destructive put in front of severe thunderstorm warning. I think that is a clear indication from the National Weather Service. This is exactly that. This is, I know we get a lot of different kind of severe thunderstorms around here. Sometimes we just get a big lightning show and that's it. Sometimes we get heavy rain and that's it. But this whole area, the woodlands, right across now off to eastern Harris County and continuing down to Hobby Airport and then back towards Sugar Land. That whole blinking yellow area is a severe destructive thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. What's the destruction from? Wind. That's what it's going to be. The wind coming in that's driving this thing at 60 miles an hour. Fortunately, if you'll accept that word, nothing's going to stop it. So it's not going to just stall and start raining lots and lots of rain. But it is a destructive storm that's been moving through. We also have this tornado warning that has also been extended until 6:45. Daji's been watching that at the sidelines. Daji, what you got?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, we have this line of storms pushing through into now closer to the loop. So what we want to show you here is if you're not in the worst of the storm where we see those reds and yellows, it's coming your way. So places like U of H as well as into Uptown, you're just going to be looking at here in the next, some for 10 minutes and the next 30 minutes for this line to move on through. So let me draw that out for you here. This is going to continue to press into, once again, as Frank mentioned, places like Hobby. Some of these thunderstorms that we are being issued are being associated with some very high winds, 60 to 80 mile per hour winds potentially coming through the city of Houston. So once again, Energy Park 6:37 p.m., Hobby around 6:51, could even be sooner than this. This has been moving pretty quickly, and this is going to continue to cross through the east side of town. So if you're watching from Pasadena, well, just know that you will also be noticing the chance for some very gusty storms. Now, there have been some reports of down trees and power lines, and as we talked to Gage earlier, hail as well. Most of that was well to the west of the city, but we could see those same impacts once again coming into places like East Haven as well as into Memorial Park as we come in the next few minutes here as this storm system continues to move its way around 40 to 50 miles per hour. Now, the winds associated with the storm that are knocking down the trees are around that, once again, 60 to 80 mile per hour window. So with that being said, just going to reiterate what we have going on right now. We are continuing to see that tornado warning in effect. That does include the city of Houston, and that's going to continue here. And let me get that over for you. So that's going to continue here through 6:45. So if you are in Houston, Greater Houston, the Loop or not, you are included in this. Jersey Village right now still in that tornado warning, and you're still in the worst of it at this point in time. We are going to once again see some hail out towards Jersey Village. That's what that purple always indicates. We're also noticing into Mission Bend, even though you're on the tail end of this, you're going to notice that wind continue to howl and pick up speed, and that's going to continue to come into places like Spring Valley, starting to hit some of that heavier rain there, and that's going to make its way into that greater Houston area. So as we continue along Interstate 10, if you have any travel plans, I would suggest finding that safe place. Once again, we do have a tornado warning, so try to go somewhere where you can get out of the car, maybe a restaurant, maybe it's Walmart, you know, if you have any family and friends driving right now, and try to get yourself into one of those areas. So gonna clear this out for you so we can get a better look at the entire line that is rolling through. Spring, you are also included in that new severe thunderstorm warning, and that lasts until, as well as Kingwood, until 7 p.m. So if you're in Spring, Kingwood, Tomball, as well as along the Southwest Freeway, we are currently under a severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to continue to see that extending to the east. I think that's important to note here. So places like Channelview, Crosby, it seems like this is far away, but in reality, since it has been moving pretty quickly, this could also bring in those damaging winds. We are going to be looking at the chance for, we'll try to get some numbers in terms of power outages, but when we're talking about 60 to 80 mile per hour winds and some of these places where it's already been saturated like Kingwood, we could be looking at some more power outages along this line. So something to be mindful of. But once again, if you're in Houston, you're going to start to notice that rain picking up. We're also noticing, once again, Energy Park. Many of us, this is probably the worst time of day. Many of us are trying to get to work or pick up the kids from school. It's about to be 6:30 here, and this massive line of storms continues to track through. So if you know, once again, I keep reiterating this, anyone who is on the road right now, tell them to go to a big building. I said a Walmart, a Target, something like that, that could keep them protected. You're going to continue to notice this pushing into, once again, Interstate 10, eventually hitting 45 at the heart of the city. So I'll give you some more of those times here right now as we head closer. Let me click on this for you so we can get some updated times. So Memorial Park, NRG, Brookhaven, you're going to be coming around this. It says the speed is 30. I think it's a little faster than that compared to what we have seen, as Frank mentioned, over the last hour or so. It has been flying through, and it continues to move through. So I'm naming these big areas because we are going to be looking at a massive amount of people trying to get home along Interstate 10 back through 45 as well. And going to clear that out for you one more time so you can see the entirety of the line. I am still going to be concerned about those cities out towards our east. That includes places like Hobby, Pasadena, if you're in Galena Park. Even though we are far removed from the line of storms, it's going to continue to move on in. Jersey Village still in the worst of it, and this line will continue to press into places like the Heights, as well as into Brookhaven as we head through the rest of tonight. Frank, have we have any updates on any new warnings or anything like that? Or
no, but I'd be interested to see, Gage, if we can get Gage, because 290 is clearing up toward the northwest. noticed. I mean, this storm system was in Brenham 1 hour ago, and now it's here in Houston, and it's almost there. There he is. Well, Gage, what, if you can hear us, what part of 290 are you on now? And are you still headed west, or are you headed back toward town?
So we are 290 eastbound near Barker Cypress Road eastbound right now. You can see the westbound traffic over here. That is stationary. Everybody going westbound stationary. I'm swinging the camera back around east, and you can see eastbound's clear. So we're heading towards the city, but westbound traffic, no bueno over there, Frank.
No, not at all. And I can imagine that they're slowed down because of ponding on the road and limbs like you saw, and quite possibly accidents. But you're headed back toward downtown, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're headed back towards downtown right now, kind of chasing the tail end of this into the Jersey Village area. And you can kind of even see by the lightness in the sky, it looks a little bit more like daytime and not like midnight compared to the last time we talked to you, which is a big deal, right? But we're still, getting those bands of strong wind where the rain is being pushed by the wind, pushing vehicles around. You can even see some people here with their hazard lights on still.
Okay, thank you. We'll get back to you in just a second. I wanted to show people something about the power outages. We're seeing a lot of those. As you can see in Waller County, we've got very heavy, very strong power outages. I know 13,000 is what I'm being told in Harris County right now. 13,000. Oh, I take that back, 113,000 power outages. So let's go back to the radar here and show you what we're watching. This is not only a threat, and I think there's some good news, not only a threat coming in with the tornado threat, but clearly the wind threat also. So if you look at what we've been seeing here, I'll put those boxes back on. This is a severe thunderstorm warning until 7. This is a tornado warning until 6:45, so that's another 20 minutes on that. The one behind it, where you see things are clearing, is until 6:30. So when you look at this whole area that's the most dangerous part of the storm right now, clearly it's already getting out of the Cypress area. So in the last hour, it has moved all the way from, really, all the way from the west of Hempstead right into Jersey Village, and now it's starting to come inside the 610 loop. So you can see how quickly this is moving. But what moves it is wind. Generally, it's been moving 40 to 45 miles an hour. Earlier, it was moving at 60 miles an hour. So it has slowed a little bit, but it hasn't slowed a lot. And that kind of wind is going to continue to cause problems. Now, if you look at the tornado threat, see how that curves in, that little notch right there? That's what we always look at. Whenever you get that kind of emotion coming in like that, that's what we call a notch. That can very often be a tornado. So with that being said, I want to, let's take that off for a second. That being said, I want to look at this on the reflectivity, which is to say the winds and the different wind shear that's coming. The velocity is what I'm saying here, because you look at that, and there you have the red and the green. And look how close those are, and look how bright that green is. That's very strong wind. That's the 45, 50, 60 mile an hour wind that is rushing toward the radar. And then the lighter winds, but there's still enough to be a difference, are in the red. And so you have that juxtaposition of wind going away from the radar and wind coming toward the radar. And Doppler is all about wind. That's exactly what Doppler means, is wind and the rushing sound of wind and how wind reacts. So that's what this is all about. And you can see pretty clearly that there is wind that's headed one way, and then there's wind that's headed another way. And that's why this tornado warning is in effect, because this could be, I guarantee you there's some spin going up in the upper atmosphere. I suspect that there is a